Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karen Oludolapo Shokunbi of the Desert Haven. You can call me Karen. Today I'm going to be showing how to make a banana bread. So last week I left a poll in my story and I asked for you people to choose between either a chocolate banana bread or the basic banana bread, and it seems the basic banana bread won. So that's what we are doing here. Meanwhile, I would like to dedicate this video to the person who gave me few tips. On how I'm going to do this video, and she's late now, so I would like to observe a moment of silence for Antipeju of I Love Desserts. May her soul rest in perfect peace. So moving to business. Yeah, I dropped the ingredients in my previous post, so you can go to check for it. But what it says we are going to need are butter, brown sugar, some mashed bananas, flour, of course your vanilla extract, and cinnamon and baking soda. So we are going to start by first whipping the butter and sugar. You can actually use melted butter, but if you use melted butter, you are going to get a dense banana bread, and I'm not a fan of dense banana bread, so I make sure my butter is salted. This butter does not need salt because it's already salted, but if you're using unsalted butter, you can use 4 grams of salt. So I'm going to be putting this here. I'm going to be mixing it with the brown sugar. Okay. I want it to be creamy. Meanwhile, the bananas, I've not fully mashed it, so I'm going to be mashing this ones here. It doesn't really matter if you have some chunks of bananas here, as long as they are not the excessive big chunks. You can still leave it like here. I still have some few chunks of bananas here. This is it. It's creamed. The butter and sugar is creamed. So we are going to be adding the eggs one at a time. And why we're going to adding the eggs one at a time, we don't want to break in all of it at once, because if you put all of them at once, it's going to curdle. So it's going to curdle. The mixture is going to curdle. So we're going to be adding the eggs one at a time. I poured the first egg and I'm mixing it. I want it to properly mix. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be breaking the second egg inside this bowl, just to make sure that there are no shells inside our mixture. Meanwhile, see, this is what I'm talking about. Imagine if I had broken it directly into the mixture. So now this is properly mixed. I'm going to be adding the second mixture. Okay. Then the third one. If you do it this way, your egg is going to mix properly and it's not going to curdle. So if you are having curdled mixture, this is the cause of it. So now all of this is properly mixed, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be scraping down the sides from the mixer to make sure everything is. Now I'm going to mix it again to make sure everything mixes thoroughly. Just to give it one last mix. Then I'll be adding the banana, the mashed bananas into it. So here I'm going to be adding the mashed bananas into the mixture. Then I'll be adding the vanilla extract. That's 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. I'm using the clear one. I don't know, I just love the clear one. I prefer it to the dark one actually. I always feel like the dark one is going to alter the color. Now this is mixed. So this is the 200 grams of flour. I've sifted it already, and I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm using Baker's Choice baking soda. It works fine for me. So I'm going to be mixing it together. And you know why I'm mixing the powdered ingredients together? See, if the baking, you need to make sure the baking soda and the cinnamon mix well with it, so that it can get spread evenly. It can have an even distribution. Because if the baking soda is at one part, that part of the cake is going to be bitter. So, and you really don't want your banana bread being bitter. So now at this point, I'm going to be adding the powdered ingredients little by little, and I'm going to be mixing at low speed. You don't want to overmix. You don't want to overmix it. So you'll be mixing at low speed. Because this, I want to make sure the both sides getting so. Now this is mixed. I just want this to come down here so it won't create a mess. Then I'm going to be pouring it inside the pan. Meanwhile, before I started the video, I've greased the pan and I've layered the bottom with a parchment paper. So the next thing I have to do now is pour it into the pan and bake. Meanwhile, a quick advice, while you've mixed your butter and sugar mixture, while it's already mixed, you might want to preheat your oven. So once you are done, you can just put this inside, and there's no need for you waiting to preheat. This is it. This is the banana bread mixture, and I'm going to be pouring it into the pan.